conference is being recorded.
Hey coaches, welcome to our coaching call. So excited to have you here right now with me as we discuss a topic that's so important in growing your coaching company. For those of you who do not know me, I'm Andrika J. Austin. I go by Coach AJ for short. I love helping coaches confidently convert conversations to clients, cash checks, and credit cards. So tonight, that's exactly what we're going to talk about during our time together. Before we get started, I wanted to let you know that we have a live, in-person, personal life coach certification training course coming up in Atlanta, Georgia. Head over to www.fastcoachtraining.com. Again, www.fastcoachtraining.com for more information for yourself or for someone you know. Let's go ahead and dive into our coaching call topic. Now, a lot of people come to me looking for more clients in their coaching business. And because I work with a lot of women entrepreneurs, I get to speak on behalf of being an entrepreneur, a coach, a speaker, a facilitator, an author myself. So a lot goes into growing our coaching company. And as you grow in the knowledge of what it takes to grow your coaching company on a day-to-day basis, you often hear the term strategy sessions. So a lot of veteran coaches will say, hey, it's important to give some free sessions. They call them strategy sessions. They're different names. I have a vision elevation session that I did back in the day for my free sessions. So I know with the Fast Coach training program, we are taught to find someone, actually 3 to 5 different people that we can give these free sessions to. And then a lot of times it ends up that person may or may not be ready to hire us as their coach. Well, what I want to share with you is actually several steps. I won't tell you how many just yet, but I will go through them and then break them down as need be. Now, go ahead and get your questions ready. I love the live engagement. So whether you're listening live or to the replay of this coaching call, feel free to look in the bottom of the Facebook Live if you're with us live, or look for the discussion panel. That's what we're looking for. And then for the people that are with us live right now, I'm going to come to the conference line and open that up for Q&A. So if you have any questions about what I'm sharing with you on this coaching call, get those questions ready because we are ready to dive in. So for those of you who do not have paying clients, or maybe you're looking for more paying clients, I want to advise you to go ahead and commit to doing those free sessions, or do like I used to do and do about 30 minutes or so where you're on the phone with the person, you're getting to know the person you're talking to, you're learning about his or her life or their business, their relationship, their financial health, their physical fitness goals, whatever it is that you coach around. So for me, I'm a business coach for women entrepreneurs. I coach around business. So I love to hear what these people have going on in their business as I get to know them. And then as you're talking to them, you get to hear more about what they're currently working on. Some people, as they come through the Fast Coach training classes with me, sometimes they go off and do great things. Most of the time, people get certified as coaches and they don't do a lot with their certificate. Now, if that's you listening right now, I'm not meaning to step on toes. I'm telling facts. I'm speaking truth. And so as I get to know what goes on after these classes, how are you doing in your business? Are you building your business? Are you trying to take it to the next level? Are you trying to get new clients? I get to hear more about what's going on in your life. So maybe that's you as a coach and you're getting to know someone you're talking to on one of these free sessions. You're learning about where they are in their life, centered around what you coach on specifically. And then you're hearing more about what they're currently working on so that you can kind of get a feel for where this conversation may or may not go. Now, as a side note, everyone you talk to or everyone you offer a free coaching session with is not your client. Everyone that you talk to will not end up hiring you or paying you money. And even if they do, that does not mean they're going to be your ideal client. But in order to help you kind of sift through some of these calls and some of the people that you end up talking to so that you don't feel like, oh, I just wasted my time, they're taking advantage of me, I am going to give you even more of how to dive into this. So you've already started to talk to the person. You're getting to know them. You're learning about where they are and what they're currently working on. And then you want to learn about what they're hoping to achieve. So let's say they have a new coaching business. Like I meet a lot of new coaches. They want to grow their coaching business and bring in clients. And so I ask them what they're doing to work on it since I trained them and certified them through Fast Coach training. And then I ask about, well, what do you hope to achieve? Even coming into the training sessions, I ask about your expectations so that I can know whether or not I can meet them. And I can be honest with you. I can be straight up in that moment and I can let you know if I feel like this will be a win-win. So your job as a coach during these calls is to also learn about what people in your life that are hoping to coach with you, what are they hoping to achieve? But you can only find this out if you are asking the right questions. So as coaches, you know our job is to ask the right questions. So during these calls, that's exactly what we want to do. So one of the most important things I find on these free strategy sessions, coaching calls, coaching sessions, however you want to call them, I love to ask the person what they've already done that has not worked for them. So for example, I remember when I was new to coaching, but I was really out there in a big way. A lot of people knew about me, and I received a call from one person who had coached with a quote unquote celebrity coach. And she still felt like she needed more coaching. She didn't quite achieve what she wanted to achieve. So I had to ask her specifically, what have you done already that didn't work? So what did you do with the previous coach that did not work? Or what did the previous coach ask you to do that you did not do? That's a very important question to take on new coaching clients, because that will let you know whether or not they're willing to do the work that you're about to tell them needs to be done. So as you're talking to the person, you're getting to know them, what they're working on, what they hope to accomplish. You want to know what they have done and failed at, or what they just have not put into practice. Ask them about how much time that they can invest. But not just that they can invest. What are they willing to invest? Because it's one thing to be able to do it. It's another thing to be willing to do it. So when you ask the person that you're considering bringing on as a new client, when you're asking them about how much time they can invest, make sure that you stress, is this the amount of time that you're willing to invest? Because a lot of people I meet, they work a 9-to-5 job, which means early mornings and late night stays. Now they can invest time in between traffic, getting from home to work, lunch, or coming from work to home. But are they willing to invest that? So that's an important key question on these strategy sessions, coaching calls. Ask them how much time they can and are willing to invest, and not just invest it because they're not really investing it in you as their coach. They're investing it in shifting the possibility of improving their future. So, through Fast Coach Training, we teach people how to think different. That's our training motto, coaching motto, the founding principle of the company, helping people think differently. So your job as the coach is to get people to start shifting their thought process about improving their future. So you want to know, what are they even willing to do to start thinking differently about their potential future working with you as their coach? And then get clear. Ask for clarity. This is a tough question. Now, I know one of our last coaching calls, we talked about the sales process. I broke down my 5-part process that I go through with every client that I bring on board. Sales is hard. Talking about money is hard, but only for a few people who have not practiced it enough. Let me say that again. Sales and talking about money is hard to those who have not practiced it enough. This tip that I'm about to share with you is real and necessary as a part of the free coaching process. If not, you end up with a lot of people who want to just quote, pick your brain, or they don't take coaching as seriously as you do because you skip this next step I'm about to tell you. Now, this step is where you ask for clarity on how much money they can and are willing to invest in the possibility of working with you to potentially shift their future. Let me recap on that. You're going to get clear for how much money people, not how much they have, because you can have a lot of money and not be willing to spend it, or you can have no money and really, really, really want to get coaching. But you're going to ask for clarity on how much the person can invest and how much they're willing to invest. Now, this is where I tell my clients, you never want to count your clients' pockets. For example, if you're like me and you love thrift store shopping and yard sales and rummage shopping and salvage, I love looking through clearance and discounted sales items. It's something therapeutic about the process. But when you find a bargain for cheap, it just does something to you. But that's how I shop. Now, that's not how I shop for my coaching, but that's how I shop. Now, if you're like me and you love discounts and you love sales, don't put that off on this new client, because just because you love sales don't mean that they're looking for a hookup, that they're looking for sales or discounts. So I say that because you want to give the person that you're talking to the opportunity to clearly express to you how much money they can and are willing to invest in the possibility of working with you. So if you have a price for your coaching, for example, my coaching at the time of this recording is $297 for a 30-minute session. Now, it's expensive to a new coach, but it's cheap to an $8 million coach that I have. So when you quote those prices, you have to be able to put it out there and be quiet. Because at that moment, during this free call, you're getting clear on what that potential client is willing to invest. So just keep in mind that when we want something, we make a way for it to happen. Whether or not you have the money now, you make a way for it to happen. So if that coaching call is going really well and they're seeing the possibility and they really feel like you've gotten a feel for who they are and how you're going to help them succeed past what they've been able to do on their own or in the past, then they're going to find a way to afford your coaching. But you have to be willing to have that sales conversation, ask for money, and get clear and be quiet long enough to let them tell you what they're willing to invest in that possibility. Okay, I'm off my soapbox on that one. The next thing you want to do during these free sessions is tell the person that you're talking to about how you two may potentially be able to work together. This is what people in the coaching industry call asking for the sale. Now, we started asking for the sale the moment we put the money topic on the table. But then when you tell the person where their money will be invested as far as working with you potentially, you're going to talk about your coaching products, your coaching services, your offerings, whatever it is that you're on that call hoping to gain and to give that person. You're going to talk about your product and your service in that moment. And then you want to discuss with the person that you're speaking to about how committed they are to the process. Now, remember, I talked about earlier, sometimes as coaches, especially as new coaches, we get so involved with we need clients. We know we can help people. We can help change their lives. We get so caught up in the process that we become more committed than the person that we're supposed to be coaching. So in this part of the conversation, you want to be sure to discuss with your potential client how committed they are to the coaching process with you. Talk about their commitment level to that level of success in their life, in their business, in their relationship, in their financial health, their physical goals, whatever it is that you coach around. This is the moment that you want to take to check on the commitment level of the person that you're considering coaching. Again, it's their commitment level. This is where we learn in Fast Coach Training, you're coaching from the client's agenda. You're coaching from your heart. So while we're passionate about coaching, we want to make sure that we are on the same page as our client and they're going to stay committed to the process so that you as the coach don't end up doing the work the client's supposed to do. And then this is another part of that money conversation. It's actually a 3-part, and I'm just now seeing this as I'm sharing this with you guys right now. But you want to go ahead and secure payment or payment arrangements. So for example, if you quoted a price and you've let the client tell you what they're willing to invest and you've gotten their commitment level, and you see that they're going to stick it out and they're going to work through because you're going to help them get a breakthrough, let's go ahead and secure payment. So for those that know, when you call me and you're ready to sign up to get certified as a life coach, and we talk about your goals and we find out how committed you are, and we let you know the location of the upcoming training here in Atlanta, Georgia, and you're so excited, before we hang up the phone, I have secured a payment. Now, it's up to you if you want to offer payment arrangements. It's really appropriate to go ahead and get a full payment. That way the person has invested financially. They have some, quote, skin in the game. So that also makes sure that they show up, because you as the coach, we know you're going to show up because you love what you do and you're there for your clients. And we want to make sure your clients are going to show up for you. So when you secure that payment or you go ahead and create a payment arrangement with the client, you have mastered that part of the money conversation. And so all that's left next to do in this conversation is to give your new client a start date for when your work together will begin. So what I like to do is, once the payment is secured, we've answered every question that has to be answered, then I send a follow-up email giving the start date and outlining our work together and when it will begin. So for those of you listening who have ever coached with me, you are very familiar with this process and you're like, AJ's telling the truth because this is what she took me through. I actually had a call before where I did a speaking engagement and I had one of those coaching sessions, but it wasn't free. This client had paid for this coaching session. And once I coached her, our entire session was just about how I got her to sign up as my client. So I reverse engineered all the way from the moment we were on the phone, going all the way back to the very first step I took in the door of this speaking event. And she said, wow, that is exactly what you just taught me how to do, because that's what you did for me. So keep in mind, I said for me, not to me. So this sales process, this offering, this getting the people on the phone, this is a service that you're offering as a coach. Even if you're coaching for free for 30 minutes, you're also making sure that you're doing it strategically. So again, you've given that start date for when you're going to work together. You have their payment secured. They know what's expected because you've already told them there's a commitment involved. You want to make sure that you offer the opportunity to stay in touch. And what that means is to stay in touch with what you have told the client that you will offer and what they have told you that they need from you. So you're staying in touch with exactly what it is that you have promised to deliver on. Okay. So you're staying in touch. You are delivering on your promise. And then you are mastering the conversation of, I am your coach and I am here for you. So whether you're staying in touch via email, maybe a text message, make sure that those opportunities to continue that conversation, being there for your client, remain in place. And then offer whatever it is that you're coaching around. Make sure that your coaching program is customized to meet the needs that they've told you that they had for their life, for their business, their relationship, financial health, physical fitness goals, whatever you coach around. Just make sure that the program, the service, the offer, that product that you have promised them and they've paid you for, make sure that it matches what they need in their life. And then you want to make sure that you allow a predetermined amount of time to complete the coaching relationship. And so what this means is when I meet a lot of people and we go through this process and they become clients, the first thing they want to know is how long before blank. So for example, if you've given them an outcome or result in their life, in their business, in their financial health, their physical fitness, they're going to say, how long can I expect to go through this coaching program? And you want to make sure that you're giving that amount of time for them to complete the coaching process. And then make sure you know when your job is complete in that aspect of coaching around whatever you coach around. So let's say your program is 90 days. On that 91st day, that client should be complete with that coaching program, that coaching process. That part of the relationship is complete because you set aside that amount of time. The client has shown up, they have invested, and they are getting the results that they want. Now, this is from my training and development background in human resources. We would have to do a midpoint evaluation. Now, this is what I encourage you to do as coaches as well. So even if your program is 90 days, maybe it's a year, make sure that at some point, which is usually halfway through your coaching program or process, that you evaluate how the coaching program is going for your client. Are they getting the results? Compare where they started with where they're actually at in that moment. So if they had certain starting goals, look at the goals they've actually achieved. This is where you keep those lines of communication open and they're giving you that mid-session evaluation, telling you how it's going. That way you can tweak some things as needed or whatever have you. And then you want to offer the opportunity to get a client testimonial. So for those of you who are with me tonight, who have ever coached with me, you know I'm quick to send you the evaluation. Hey, how's it going? What's the update? How's your homework going? What questions do you have? I'm here. By the way, here's a link to a pre-templated client testimonial form. And what that means is I'm just helping you start the sentence and you're completing it based on the results that you're getting from a coaching program. So hopefully this is helping you guys get some ideas for how to take these free calls that often don't lead to money, and you're actually turning it into a client who's now getting positive results and they're willing to tell other people about it through a testimonial. And then you want to be in a place where once that client reaches, let's say it's day 91 and your 90-day coaching program is complete, be in a position to recommend next steps. So I know one of our coaches recently asked me, AJ, how do I keep from giving it all away? Meaning when I speak or when I coach or when I give a free consultation or when they actually sign up for my coaching program, how do I keep from giving everything that I have away? And the way you do this is going back to the step where I encourage you to customize what you have to offer to their specific needs. So let's say they only need help and you're a fitness coach and they only need help with losing 10 pounds. That means that you just focus on getting them through that 10 pounds. Although you know that you've had some client success in the past where you may have helped a client lose 100 pounds. Keep that in the back of your mind, because once they hit 10 pounds, that session is complete. You have acknowledged that that part of the coaching relationship is complete. And now you're at a point where you can recommend next steps to say, hey, want to lose 10 more? Let me show you how you can lose your next 10 pounds, because what works for you to get those first 10 off may not work for you to get 20 off. So let me take you to the next steps. And by the way, I've had success with clients losing as much as 100 pounds by working with me. Now, that's something to consider when you are doing these coaching calls, but make sure that you're at a place to recommend the next steps. That way you keep them going, you keep them committed, you're staying committed, and they continue to get results. And as a coach, your work is already cut out for you. You're doing a great job. And then find a way to follow up, to keep track with what's going on in that coaching process. So we've already talked about the midpoint evaluation and seeing where they are with their goals and what goals they're actually achieving versus what they wanted starting out. But also make sure that you and your client are keeping up with the results for how they're doing. How are they keeping track? What are they learning? What are they gaining? What are their results? What actions are they taking in this coaching process? And then finally, you want to make sure that you're able to reach out consistently, even after they finish working with you as a client. And you're not just reaching out to sell them something else. You're not just reaching out to get referrals, but reach out consistently. My clients know I'm so good about this. You might receive a surprise in the mail. You might get a surprise email, a surprise phone call, a surprise Facebook inbox, but I consistently reach out. And this is what I encourage you coaches to do. Consistently reach out regarding where your client is, their results from working with you, what else you may be able to help them on, but also if you have some new stuff coming up. For example, I work with a lot of clients in different states. So if I'm in that state or in that specific city or even here in Atlanta and I'm speaking somewhere, I will just simply reach out to say, hey, I'm going to be near you. You want to catch coffee? Or would you like to be added to my VIP list to come sit front row with an event that I'm going to be speaking at? So my clients on my email list, they know that this is possible. I encourage you guys to incorporate this as well, where you're consistently reaching out regarding what you have going on, letting the client know that it's beyond money. It's beyond just the coaching relationship, but you're actually interested in continuing to see them prosper, continuing to potentially work together at higher levels, but you want to keep building on their success and on your own. So if I had to just recap, whether you noticed it or not, I gave you about 19, maybe even 20 or so steps on how to go from just getting these free coaching sessions that may not lead to anywhere to getting some actual clients from these quote strategy sessions. Now, I use a 20-point process, and any coach can use this for how to handle those sometimes pesky free coaching sessions that a lot of you guys don't like to do. I love them because I know something great is coming out of it for both me and my clients. But these will help you not only attract those free sessions, but like I mentioned at the top of our time today, it's going to help you attract the right clients. A lot of people call them your ideal clients, and then it's going to lead to a sale. So once you get to know the person you're talking to and you're learning about his or her life in whatever area that you're coaching in, whether it's relationship, financial health, physical fitness, wherever their goals are that matches what you coach around, you get that opportunity to hear more about what they're currently working on, learning what they hope to achieve, and maybe even discuss what they've already done that hasn't worked for them, even if they've worked with other coaches, because a lot of times that comes up as a rejection. I've already worked with a coach, it didn't work. You want to specifically discuss what they've already done, specific actions. What did you do? What did you not do that has or has not worked for them? And then ask them about how much time they're willing to invest in potentially shifting and improving their future outcome. Ask for that clarity on how much money. Let me say that again, money. I like to say the word. A lot of people don't like to talk about it, but you have to get clear. Ask for clarity on how much money they can and are willing to invest in the possibility of changing their future for the better by working with you as their coach. And then tell them about how you two can potentially work together. Ask for the sale via mentioning your coaching products and services. And if you go back to our last call together, this is not about you pushing a product or making them buy or being pushy or salesy. You'll hear that referred to a lot. But this is just your opportunity to talk about what could change based on where they are and where they want to be. And that could be your specific coaching product or service. And then discuss their commitment. How committed are they to getting that process complete? What is their commitment to having success in their life, their business, their relationship, all other areas in their life that you coach around specifically? And you want to make sure that you are securing the payment or giving them a payment arrangement. Give them a start date for when your work together begins. Stay in touch via email, potentially text message or inbox. And then make sure that your coaching is specifically meeting the needs that they told you that they have in the area that you coach around. You're going to set aside a predetermined amount of time to complete the coaching relationship and know when you both have graduated. And then make sure that you're checking in midway to working together, making sure they're getting what you promised them and what they needed from coaching with you. Compare where they started with the goals they've actually achieved. Get a client testimonial from them. Recommend next steps on them continuing to stay committed and get results. And then set a follow-up date and how to keep track of their progress. And make sure you're staying in touch consistently to let them know what's going on with them. What's going on with you, and to ask them what's going on with them. And if the opportunity presents itself, to continue to work together at a higher level to make sure you continue to build on your success as well as theirs. So I know this was a lot, but what this does is take you from free clients who just want to pick your brain, who don't want to pay, to getting really clear. And as you work through these different parts of a free coaching consultation or a session, you're going to start to notice when people fall away. Maybe it's when the money conversation starts. You'll know how far to go and when to stop. And it's okay, because again, this gets you into the habit of practicing the sales process, the money conversations, attracting the right clients, and building a successful coaching business. So I want to take a moment and open up our lines here on the conference line, as well as Facebook Live, now that you're live with me. And even if it's after this recording, if you have a question about what to do during these free consultations and coaching calls that I may not have had a chance to cover tonight during our short time together, it's okay. Go ahead and put your question, your comment, start the conversation in the discussion box below, and I'll be happy to either come back and continue the conversation with you after the recording or host a coaching call about it all together. So I'm going to go ahead and open our phone lines. Facebook, get your typing fingers ready. I see one question. Monique, I'm coming to you shortly. Let me open up our phone lines.
To start Q&A session, press 1. Q&A session started.
All right. So our Q&A session is started on our live conference line. All you have to do is press *6 and you will be placed in queue to ask your question. Let me head over to our Facebook live stream. All right, you guys are hanging in there tonight. Hey, Minister Deidre, Yolanda, Jennifer, Pixie Lee, Tasha, Monique, Joyce, Melissa, Patrick, Tremone, Sylvia, and Shalandra. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. So Monique Clear Communicator wants to know, what tools do you use or recommend to keep track? Again, what tools do you use or recommend to keep track? Now, I am assuming, Monique, that you are referring to the keep track part as a part of the wrap up of the coaching relationship, where you are following up with the client and you're making sure that they're staying on track. And keeping track could be as simple as looking in the back of that Fast Coach training manual that you got before you even got certified. And look where it's a note-taking page for every coaching session that you have with this client. Now notice this is a piece of paper and all you need is a pen. So no specific software, nothing fancy that you have to buy. It's just about checking in midpoint, evaluating where they are. And then once the coaching session comes to an end, making sure that they got the results that they started with. So for example, let's say you are using the sheet that we provide you in the Fast Coach training manual once you get certified. It gives you a place to take notes. It gives you those exact questions to ask your client about where are they since your last session. Now this is just assuming that you're working with the client one-on-one. And as you're asking them the questions that we lay out for you in your Fast Coach training manual, you are going through and writing down what they're saying. Now, that's at the start of the conversation. And then that midpoint, you come back and look at those questions that they had, look at the answers that they were given, look at the coaching that you've been providing, and then ask them again. Where are you since our last session? And that's literally the simple process to keeping track as to where they are versus where they started. And what I love to do is remind my clients of, you remember when you called me and you were crying because your job had just laid you off and you really wanted to launch your business? Now look where you are since you have started your own business through coaching. Now, this isn't just to brag on your sessions, but it's to remind them that they are not only getting their money's worth, but they're getting results. They're taking action. They are actually making progress because they have hired you as their coach. So I say all of that to say, the tools I recommend for keeping track is simple pen and paper. And because it's already sketched out for you in the Fast Coach training manual, the work is already laid out. So hopefully that answers your question. Thank you so much for your question, Monique. And I'm going to take a moment to check our phone lines and let's see if anyone has a question. Now, I see you guys hanging out with us. Let me go to our conference. All righty. All right, guys. So I don't see anyone in queue for our conference line. So conference line, again, got about 60 seconds. If you have a question about the coaching call topic, about these free coaching sessions and how to turn them into some great clients, go ahead and press *6 and you'll be placed in queue to get your questions answered. So we've already done a recap. Hopefully these sessions, let me just see who's still hanging out with me. If these sessions from week to week are really helping you, at least even sparking some ideas, and you're actually putting them into practice in your coaching business, let me see some love, Facebook Live. Let me see some hearts, some likes, some thumbs up, because you guys know I am in our Facebook group. I am posting topics. I am putting out resources. I am handling these calls based on what I see it is that you need in your business. Okay, I see some love. Thank you guys. I feel so loved. Look at all the hearts. Okay, I really, really appreciate you. Yolanda says, good information. Thank you. Thank you, Yolanda, for being here with us. Yes, thank you. Okay, Monique says, yes, thank you. Have the paper. Wondered if they were online. Paper is good. Paper is great. I collect journals. I'm sitting here looking at a stack of them I'm going through now. So you'll be so surprised with how many ideas are sparked even from the information that your client starts to share with you from the beginning of these free sessions. So guys, I really hope that this has blessed you. I really hope that you are putting together this information in your business to where it helps you go to the next level. And because we are at the end of our time together, I will leave you with this. There is someone somewhere waiting on you to walk in your destiny so that they can walk into theirs. Because it's when you let your light shine that you give others permission to do the same. Listen, guys, thank you for hanging out. I'm Coach Andrika J. Austin. I look forward to seeing you back here, same time, same place next week. Have a phenomenal night. God bless. Bye-bye.